our left, head coach Don Brown in the middle, Anthony Finch for our right. Coach, you let know what the stadium will take questions.
I definitely wanted to commend Southern University for doing a great job tonight defensively. I think that they did a great job as far as disrupting the offense early on, holding Jeanette Jackson to 7 points. We were cold from the field, and a lot of those spurts where we were counting on some shooters to hit shots for us, we were kind of standing around and shooting 50% from the free throw line, 0% from the three-point line won't allow you to advance to the championship game.
Questions?
Coach, your previous game was a very physical one. Do you think some of that was today's loss was due to fatigue or where from that game?
No, I can honestly say that our team is pretty tough. They're pretty tough. But you don't really want to blame some things on officiating, and I'm definitely not doing that. But some officials call games differently, and I think Shamaya Brooks getting that flagrant foul early kind of dictated a little bit as far as how physical my team can be, and I think that kind of just put us in a situation to where we weren't as physical and as tough as we should have been, diving on the floor to get loose balls and trying to get our hands on those 50-50 balls. So, I tried to talk to them about that flagrant foul, that questionable flagrant foul, but I think that that kind of dictated the tempo for the rest of the game.
Coach, talk a little bit about your senior leaders on the team and what they brought to the Prairie program.
Well, that's a good question, and that's why I wanted to bring Shanice Stevens and Asha Hampton Finch to the table with me today, so you guys can definitely get a chance to talk to them, because these two young ladies do a lot and they sacrifice a lot for the team. Of course, scoring is something that's always highlighted with Jeanette Jackson. But these two young ladies have sacrificed a lot for this team. Asha Hampton Finch plays the most minutes right under Jeanette Jackson, and she's our defensive general. That's the person who you see at the top of our press. You don't see a lot of teams that have a 6'3" post player running the top of their press, and she's pressing for 25, 30 minutes. But Shanice Stevens, she's one of those players that's going to come in and give you whatever you ask for. She'll look you in your face and say, "Coach, I got you." And going out in a game like this tonight with these two young ladies surrounded by the rest of the team, it makes your heart is full anyway, because of course you want to win a championship. But when you have players that that gave it everything that they have, and I think that they really gave it everything that they had tonight, I should be able to get some sleep knowing that.
Talk about down the stretch. There's 4 players that are in foul trouble for Southern, and talk about, was there a plan of continuing to attack and helping that to be a determining factor?
Well, one thing about it, we've played a lot of top BCS schools, and we've learned how to score the ball fast. In a late game situation that we're down, we're going to push the ball and try to dictate the tempo to try to score a quick basket. So the young ladies know that we have to score fast, and they know how to do it, and they did a good job of that tonight.
Let's talk about your 4 years here, and what ended. Let's talk about your career with you.
It was definitely a rewarding journey, from all the different places I've got to visit, the different teammates that I had the experience to play with on the court, the different coaches that I've had the chance to play for. Being Coach Brown, all the confidence that she had in me to be an offensive threat, because like she said, I've always been the defensive general, the guard the best post player, guard the best guard, but these past 2 years, it's changed for me to actually be an offensive threat, and I thank you for having confidence in me to be that type of player.
Coach, I apologize for having to ask you to confirm this, but no one else seems able to do it. Since you're talking about the end of the season, is it safe to assume that Alabama State is eligible for the NCAA tournament?
The only team that I can worry about is PVAMU University.
But you guys are not going on as far as you know.
As of right now, I don't know.
Shanice, going to ask you the same question. You were here for 2 years, but played for both of Coach Brown's first 2 years. Just what did how could you sum up your 2 years and what it meant to you?
Well, my first year here, I wasn't really a factor, and I want to thank Coach Brown because her confidence in me and her belief in me really gave me that drive to want to play for her, give my everything for her. And she promised me to bring my first year here, and I got it. We had game plans to, get the job done with another championship, but it was just key mistakes that we didn't capitalize on. But my experience here at PVAMU was great. I enjoyed playing for
Coach Brown, Gwen Johnson, Open Mic Broadcast. How would you sum up this season? I know you guys really fought hard. This was a very special season for you all. The tournament was very special for you. How would you sum up this season with the ladies?
It was a very rewarding season for us, having an opportunity to secure 3 wins prior to conference. Last year, statistics are there. We were 0-11. And we had 2 big games, winning versus Sam Houston and University of Houston. Those are 2 big games that we had an opportunity to really enjoy and bring back to the university. But not only that, it was just, we had a lot of ups and downs. And I'm not the type of coach, I don't expect my players to give excuses, and I don't give excuses. We lost Defensive Player of the Year, Larissa Scott, to a shoulder injury, a season-ending injury. My starting point guard, Lamaria Cole, Division I transfer from University of Kansas. We couldn't get her eligible coming into conference. And then not only that, Caitlin Parks, another player that plays very physical like Shemaya Brooks, right there on the end, 3 weeks, we had another season-ending injury. So, we've had a lot of injuries, and you guys don't know right now, Jeanette Jackson is playing with an injury. She broke her nose 2 weeks ago, and she still has another injury that she's going to have to go to the doctor to see next week. So, we're tough, and we want to try to play hard against adversity, and you don't want to allow injuries or, mishaps of your team to dictate the outcome, because you always want to have somebody else to step it up and somebody else to be able to take on that role. And like Shanice said, we have those players that can get the job done, but simple mistakes and key mistakes down in the stretch will cause you a game like tonight.
We have time for one more question.
Coach, Raymond Holly, HBCU Sports. How you look going forward, knowing that you're losing these seniors, and how your bench was outscored, basically almost 26-1. How do you go strengthening that with your new recruits?
Well, one thing about Prairie View women's basketball, prior to me becoming a head coach, I was a recruiting coordinator. So recruiting is the bloodline of our program. We've seen what it takes to get here. We know what it takes to get here, and we will be back here.
Thanks, folks.